Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth video. We're going to have a look at the weather for 10 to 14 days. For today's fourth video, day 10 will take us to the 23rd of July, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with a set of GFS ECM Ensembles. Maybe runs around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 for the next 4 weeks at the end of the video. Gets us well into first half of August. I shall get on back for you in a moment, just to say that the first video release date was our 6am UK weather forecast. We've also released a weekend forecast and the EC42 day for the UK and Ireland. Been an epic day of content. Please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We only need to put on around 20 subscribers, 20 subs to get to 18.6k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, it'll be amazing, it'll be incredible, and we will thank you so much everyone for doing that. Right, okay, let's start off then with C2. Let's just put your foot on it. Give me a bit of jip today. The old foot and ankle. I'm out of the plastic cast now. I had that took off on Thursday, and it's rather achy and whatnot without the support from plastic cast, but I'm told it'll get better. I've got a boot when I go out, when I'm indoors. Been told got to leave the boot off and just walk normally and whatnot. Anyway, you're not interested in my in my foot problems, so let's crack on with your video then. Anyway, so we're currently sitting at 14.4, which is 1.6 degrees below 61 to 1990 average, provisional to yesterday, to the 12th of July. So remains very cool. It felt cold, didn't it, last night? I don't know how that didn't tick down, actually, because, I mean, I thought yesterday felt absolutely, cold for July, and it's the same today, really, I think. So, I don't know, but to me it feels like it's about November, so really cool weather. But I suppose the night temperatures are holding the CT over all up. That is a mean temperature for day and night, let's not forget. Actually, we can have a look at the maximum in with this, so let's just have a quick look at the max, why not? So our maximum is 18.2, which is 2.1 degrees below 61 to 90 average. But I would imagine the mins are probably holding up a little bit better than that. Let's have a look at the min. So yeah, you see the min is still below average, but by about a degree less at 10.5. 1.1 degree below 61 to 99 average. So it's the minimum that's holding this up a little bit. But it's still cold and average, don't get me wrong, but the minimum that's holding it up, but by day, it's about 2 degrees below normal. Goodness gracious. Right, these are the 500 millibar Height Anomalies flow charts, Penn State University. For the next week, 10 days, we've got the ECM WF on the top, and the GFS is down here on the bottom. So 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere. High pressure and low pressure are being moved around by jet stream running above. Red and orange extrapolates to above average heights, which is low pressure. Blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. So red for high pressure, blue for low. You see that with the ECM 7 to 10 day time frame looks unsettled, below average heights to the north and the west of the UK and Ireland, bringing the wind from off the Atlantic with a zonal westerly flow. And the GFS is very similar, maybe a bit more of a northern blocking signal towards Iceland and probably further south with the trough of low pressure. Now that will bring the wettest conditions into more southern regions. Nevertheless, they both look quite unsettled in the 7 to 10 day time frame. This is the GFS upper air temperature, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Preston today. The red line is the third year upper air temperature average for Preston, starting off below average at the moment. Upper air temperatures lifting up to be near normal, perhaps a little bit above into the beginning of next week, then cooling back down again later next week, and just hovering very close to average, really, from beginning to end. No sign of anything particularly dramatic going on. Either way, the green line, which is the GFS midnight operational run, does become one of the warmest ensemble members later But even that's pretty modest, really. There's no sign, as I keep saying, that we're seeing excessive heat going up to here or even to here. And it looks unsettled as well. Look at all these precipitation spikes. Bear in mind, this is for northwestern England, so we'll be a little bit exposed to the Irish Sea and the Atlantic. But nevertheless, it looks pretty unsettled, really, through the next week, maybe next couple of weeks. No, there's not much else to say, really, is there? Unsettled and quite cool conditions continue. Temperature anomalies on the 13th, 21st of July, a little bit below average. Precipitation anomalies on 13th, 21st of July. So wetter than average for more southern and eastern regions in particular. The latest weather map from earth.nullschool.net shows we've got a trough of low pressure, area of low sitting in the North Sea today. High pressure is away to the northwest of Scotland. These two are combining to bring the wind in from more of a north or a northeast direction. Rather cool, and for eastern areas, wet later today, tonight and tomorrow. Right, let's start going through the chart data then. This is how the latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Tuesday. Trough of low pressure over country, heavy showers, long rain, possibly some thunder mixed in. Little transient ridge builds for Wednesday, then by Thursday the next low coming in off the Atlantic, bringing unsettled conditions with it. And then into the weekend, well, Friday we start to try and build up a ridge to the south, but by Saturday we're back to the unsettled conditions with the next low coming in from off the Atlantic. Looks mixed, looks changeable. I can't, again, that trough of low pressure over the country on Tuesday, and another pretty deep low, actually, Wednesday into Thursday. That brings some very wet weather across many parts of the country midweek. On into the second half of the week, a little ridge tries to build up for southwest, but look at this, the next low is waiting in the wings by the end of Friday. And then into Saturday, that area of low pressure pushes in. Again, that could bring some very wet weather, perhaps focus particularly on Ireland, England and Wales. The KMA, which has never settled down, you'll remember, looks like this. So low pressure coming in around the middle part of the week, looks unsettled, quite wet and windy potentially. Then another low pushing in around this time next week. Rather showering northwesterly winds. That's a set as we end the KMA. So some sort of transient ridge is trying to build from the Azores, but overall still pretty cool and pretty mixed. Right, well, let's move on to the GFS midnight run. We know if it becomes a warm, well, not an outlier, but one of the warmest ensemble members late on. Let's see how that happens. We start on Tuesday with a trough of low pushing across the country, heavy showers, lots of rain. Another low pushing in Wednesday as well. That brings some wet and windy weather, particularly to the north and west. Now, we do get a little bit of a ridge at the end of the week. That looks quite pleasant, but it's very short-lived. The next low then heads in from the Atlantic through next weekend, bring more heavy rain in with it. Heading up toward day 10, that low gets out of the way, goes to Denmark, and then a little transient ridge again builds from the southwest. Well, the next low rolls in over the top. After that, though, we get a break as the Azores high starts to push northwards, turns things drier and warmer, especially so in the south, although still a little bit mixed up in the north. That's a setup right at the end of GFS midnight run. And look at the heat that's building down to south, Spain, Portugal, and into southern France. Very, very hot there by the end of July. That's a long way off, though, over 2 weeks away. GFS 6 then in comparison, again, takes that trough of low across the country Monday through Tuesday, with heavy showers, long spells of rain, and potentially some thundery conditions too. Wet and windy around the middle part of next week. Better ridge builds up from the southwest. Quite a weak affair, but brings perhaps a drier and warmer end to the week. But it's not long before the next troughs are moving in from off the Atlantic, bringing if not persistent wet weather, then certainly risk of some heavy showers. By day 10, which is the 23rd of July, no pressures to the north of Scotland, and we're bringing in those showery northwesterly winds too. And then increasingly unsettled through the last week of July, looking at this jet stream digging southwards, with this low bringing cooler air southwards from Iceland and Greenland, and spells of rain too. Winds actually finish up coming from a northerly direction by the end of GFS 6. They're very, very different as we get to the end of July, better for 6 compared to the the midnight GFS run. Upper air temperatures show the heat is away in the far southeastern corner of Europe, with that one big difference between the GFS midnight run and the GFS 6 there. Right, okay, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to share everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. And thank you so much everyone for doing that. 20 subs gets us to 18.6k. Thank you so much everyone. Okay, GM. Again, we've got travel low through the country Monday through Tuesday. Then on into Wednesday and Thursday. Wet and windy, particularly to the north and the west. Stays rather mixed into the end of week and next weekend, with further showery conditions to come eventually by day 10. A bit of a ridge build to the south, brings some drier and warmer weather, but still a bit on the showery side in the northwest. And then the ECM looks like that. So all much of this Tuesday, quite an unsettled day, with showers to come. Wednesday through to Thursday, wet and windy to the northwest, but not too much rain though in the south and the southeast. Then high pressure ridges up from the southwest weekly at the end of the week, before low pressure returns for next week, bringing further showers, if not longer spells of rain. That looks very unsettled, I have to say. By day 9, which is 22nd of July, that looks like could bring some persistent rain even down into the south. That's the setup for day 10, pulling the wind into the northwest, cool and showery then. Visible precipitation forecast based on that ECM run, which I'm assuming you can stand anymore. No, look at all this rain piling in from the North Sea tonight. Sorry, my good friend Rich in Redcar, he could get drenched, I think. You're going to get drenched tonight, Rich. And tomorrow morning, look at that, very wet down the east coast. I'm so sorry, everybody, I'm being very silly. Beyond that goes a little bit drier to the middle of the week, but then by Monday, heavy showers, long spells, rain, maybe thunder coming up from the south. That looks quite interesting for Monday. And then a little bit drier around the middle of the week, but more wet weather returning later on next week. And by next weekend, well, shower conditions spreading across the country. It's a real mixed bag. And this is the option on the table within the ECM Ensembles today. For day 10 gets us to the 23rd of July. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles, all of them with low pressure to the north and northeast, high pressure away to the west and northwest, and winds are coming in from a rather cool and showering northwesterly direction. In 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got. It will get us to the 28th of July. And we see all members of the ECM Ensemble still looking mixed. Tropical low pressure perhaps more centred towards Scandinavia, but there'd still be relatively low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, with the Azores high weakened and displaced away from us in the centre of the Atlantic compared to its normal summer position. Brings the wind in from a west or northwesterly direction, so it continues to look rather cool and showery there up to month's end. CFS V2 finally, these are 500 millibar Height Anomalies, broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 13th to the 19th of July. Low pressure is dominating in the next week, so unsettled and quite cool. Week 2 will be the 20th to the 26th of July. A little bit more of a ridge to the south, low pressure to the north, remains rather flat and westerly with the wind flow and jet stream, but could bring some dry and warmer weather into the south. Week 3 will be the 27th of July to 2nd of August. High pressure is centred somewhere around the low countries of Germany. So low pressures away to the north, where probably still quite mixed in Scotland. Could be very warm though across more southern parts of the country with that ridge. And then week 4 looking like that. The 3rd to the 9th of August, high pressure over Germany then. And could that pull in some hot air from off the continent? It could. But I'm a bit dubious. We've still got some low pressure in the Atlantic. So CFS keeps wanting to build up these ridges, but the shorter range keeps saying no. So we'll see what happens. We might get some dry and warmer weather into August, but I can't see much really before the end of July, to be honest. But we'll see. Strange things have happened, and so as ever, let me sit myself up. Time will tell. won't it? Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And so for doing that, drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Oh, the camera's gone blurred. Oh dear. Anyway, so what are we going to do about that? Turn webcam off again and put it back on again. I don't know. Well, I'll wrap it up without the camera on there. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe to shows everybody for doing that. And just also having on the channel tomorrow, again, 6 AM UK weather forecast. There'll be the 4th autumn update, which is going to be a QBO special this week, and will be live at 6 PM with your 10 to 14 day and some long range. I know we've got England in the final versus Spain for the Euros tomorrow. That's at 8 PM. I will have the live stream wrapped up well before then. I'll get it wrapped up at 7, which still leaves everybody with an hour to spare before kick-off. So I will be like England's warm-up man. Maybe. Let's just see if the webcam has stopped being blurred. Oh, that's better. That's all right. What happened there? Who knows? Anyway, that's it then. So, that's it for today's videos. I shall see you tomorrow, either for one of the uploads or for the live at 6 PM. But for this one, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.